Hi everyone, and welcome back to another scrapbook process video. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I am doing something a little different. So I've talked about my little scrapbook store. A lot of you know I'm on their design team, but we, the design team members and Michelle, have decided to kind of do a monthly challenge. Usually she does a monthly sketch challenge, but we thought we would come up with different ideas and kind of make it more than just a sketch and fun different things. So again, I'm going to leave a link below to the Facebook page. I believe it's called My Little Scrapbook Store, Scrapbook Layouts and More, where this is at. If I'm wrong, I'm very sorry, but I will leave a link below. So what it is basically a monthly challenge, and each month we're going to put up a challenge. We're each picking a different month to choose the challenge. The month of February, I didn't make the January one, so I'm not going to worry about that. But the month of February is the word love. And for this challenge, you pick something that starts with each of the letters in the word love. So L-O-V-E. L could be something like layers, labels, lace, letters, lines, any one of those. Anything scrapbook or crafty related, or anything that you use on your layout that starts with L. Even the word love, it would work, I would say, in my opinion. O can be ovals, the color orange, ombre, outline, octagon, owl, any kind of anything like that would work. V is vellum, Viva Decor, that is a modeling paste company. You can use vines or violin, anything that starts with V. And E is probably the easiest one because embellishments, first of all, could be anything. Echo Park, that's the company that I'm using. I will also have embellishments. There's enamel dots. I also use those. So there's many different ways as long as you have each one of those on there. And again, if you post a picture of your layout or your project, and this could be a card, this could be a traveler's notebook, anything. It doesn't have to be, it can be a single page, double page, whatever you want. If you post it, oops, sorry about that noise, you can be entered in to win a $10 gift card, just like the online crops. You don't have to pay to enroll. You just join the Facebook group, and I ask that if you can shop from Michelle and help support local businesses. So I wanted to get all of that out of the way so you know what I'm doing, and I'll talk more about what I'm using for each letter. The first thing I'm doing is layers. And okay, these are kind of my thought on this. I'm going to layer up the photo on a few different layers, but I was thinking snow, layers of snow. And so these, you can see, I just kind of drew little lines and made little like hills in with white cardstock resembling hills of snow. So I thought I'd make a little scene. I'm using Echo Park Winter Magic, and I will leave links below to this collection. I am so in love with this collection. I have to tell you, I'm tempted to buy the sticker sheet again because I'm so in love with this collection and I have a lot of papers left. I feel like there wasn't a lot of embellishments with this collection. There was no brads. They did have an ephemera pack and the frames and tags pack, but which I got because I got the Happy Scrappy bag that Michelle had for it, but I just kind of felt I want more. I love this collection more than I thought I would. So here's where I made my first mistake. I thought I would have a couple inches of that snow pattern paper at the top and then the snow hills at the bottom, but I didn't. I knew I wanted to add these 4 photos together, which looking at it now, I probably could have made an entire 4-inch row going across both layouts, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I'm happy with how the layout turned out, but I did have to push the photos up a little bit and move the snow hill down a little bit, which is not going to be a big deal until I go to do the left-hand page. And I will talk about that when I come to that. The other thing that I was a little bit bummed about is that snowflake paper. So I wanted it to look like I chose whatever snowflake paper looked like there was snow in the sky and then the hills of snow at the bottom. That was what I was thinking. However, on the other side of that photo or that paper, you might have seen me trying to decide if I really wanted to use that one. And there was another snowflake paper I could use, but I really liked the way that this one looked. The other side of that paper was those cute little snowmen. So I don't know. I'm pretty torn. I did end up using it. You're going to see here. I knew on the left side I only had one photo. If I would have had more photos, it probably would have worked out just fine, but I didn't have any more photos that went with just these photos. And so I decide here that I need something to fill in. Thought maybe I could use a different patterned paper, like I'm trying different ones here. You'll see me kind of tuck them behind, but it just kind of looked off to me when I wanted it to look more like an actual scene. So I tried the other side of that paper, and that to me is what looked the best with all of these. Now you will see that line because I had inked the edges of that top layer before knowing I was going to need to put this paper on there. Um, and so I do kind of slightly in the still shot photos at the end, it's not super noticeable, and it is what it is kind of my opinion of it right now. But I did cover it up with a vellum snowflake, just a little bit. So, and I did line this paper up. Luckily, I put the right piece on this side, so it actually lined up pretty perfect. But you can see, had I not inked the edges, you wouldn't have been able to notice quite as well, but I did. So here's where I'm starting another layering. So I'm going to layer this photo on this paper. On the tree paper, I chose the tree paper because it kind of to me mimicked the scene a little bit, and we were in the mountains, so the tree paper just went really well. Plus, I really like that tree paper. And then I'm going to put that tree paper onto another one of the solid prints that came in this pack. And I have to tell you guys, I'm so tempted to go buy more, but I think I'm not going to buy any more of this. I'm really going to try. I'm going to try to like use the rest of this with like things like my tools, like my dies and all kinds of other things like that is what my goal is. Because as much as I want to buy more of this, I don't need it, right? So I'm trying to be better about buying and really smart about my shopping. Um, this layout did give me a bunch of trouble though. I will be honest. By the time I was done with this layout, I was frustrated. I love the result. There's one thing I don't really like about it. You might be able to see it in the photo at the end. I do at the very end, not on camera, but I go back and I put some Nuvo Dream Drops along the hillsides. And it looks okay, but I kind of wish I hadn't. It's one of those moments. Another thing you might notice that I'm doing different is I'm actually inking my edges with a blue ink this time. I've had this Catherine Pooler ink, and it's one of my favorites. I think it's called Juniper Mist. It's really a pretty blue, and I couldn't decide between black and gray. And because I wanted to be able to add some behind this on the snow, the edges of the snow hills, I didn't want black or gray for that. So I thought I would do blue for once, and that was kind of fun. So again, I'm adding another layer. So I have the layers of snow, and I have multiple layers here underneath my photo. So two around just the photo, and then the two with the tree. And then I'm going to glue all this down onto my page and basically realize I could have saved more of that snowman paper, but I didn't. Oh well, it is what it is. Um, so this is kind of where I run into a little bit of an issue, and that is I had pre-cut, you saw at the beginning of this video, I had all these mountain little hills, snow hills lined up with each other so that they would look like one continuous hill. But when I go to this side, of course, it's not going to be as low down. If I put it as low down, so it has that smooth transition from the left page to the right page, then some of the white cardstock shows from behind. I probably could have actually, now that I think about it, covered that up with a sticker, but I was frustrated at this point, and I'm like, okay, I just want to this is frustrating me. I had other issues going on that day too. So I just put it down at the regular height that I wanted it. And it kind of looks like it goes behind the photos. And I'm okay with that because I'm also going to take that tree paper and I'm going to put it over that back hill. So it kind of just gives a little bit more of attention. I think at the end, I wish that I would have maybe put it behind that snow hill, but I'm glad with how it turned out. And actually watching this reminds me, I put I put some foam adhesive on the front hill layers, but I only took off the backing of part of it because I knew I was going to be tucking things in. So I do need to go back and pull off the backings of those. And I put in this tree paper down here, and this is basically going a little bit better at this point. So then I realized, but that hill stopping there just doesn't look right. So I'm going to take just this other little piece of paper here, and I'm going to make it look like that hill continues on and goes down into just the behind the front hill. And it actually turns out okay. There's going to be a sticker that it's not the smoothest transition, but it looks better than I think it did before it had that extra little hill there. So, of course, okay, I'm using L for layers. I'm using V is going to be vellum. I'm going to have some vellum snowflakes that I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to use the Lawn Fawn. Is it Lawn Fawn? Yeah, Lawn Fawn. Um, their vellum, their shimmery vellum. I can't remember the name. I'll leave a link below. But I'm going to use that vellum and die cut some snowflakes. I will also leave a link to some snowflake die cuts. I think these are like by Pretty Pink Posh, or the name, I want to say it's, or Pink Fresh maybe, but any snowflakes would work, any snowflake dies. I have quite a few. Um, I'm going to use as an oval, and I know I'm going out of order there, sorry. There is an oval die cut, so I decided to go ahead and I will put that on the layout here in a few minutes. And then E can be a few different things. It can be embellishments, it can be the fact I'm using Echo Park, it can be enamel dots. So this was fun. This was challenging, and I think maybe if I would have taken a little more time, but I wanted to make sure to get this up in February so that you guys would have time to get this layout done or enter the challenge if you would like. I'm going to be a little more on top of things come next month, so that will be nice too. But this frozen fun, I really liked what it said because it just kind of basically described the pictures, in my opinion, just right away. I'm just trimming it down. I'm going to ink the edges. I was going to try backing it with some paper, but I changed my mind at the end, and I don't back it. I think I just couldn't find the right blue, and yeah, I gave up on it. Again, I was going back and forth with what to add to this layout. And basically my title is going to be either the wintertime or the frozen fun. I don't add any journaling. I might go back and add journaling. Here's my snowflake dies that I was talking about, and I went ahead and die cut them from the vellum. So I'm going to add, other than the one that covers up that line where the two papers, the snowflake papers came together, other than that one, I'm just going to add 3 clusters of 3 around the page. So a cluster up here in the top right by the frozen fun, a cluster up there by the winter time, and then a cluster down kind of to the right hand bottom side of the photo. And that kind of just gives like the 3 cluster areas. So that helps draw your eye across the page. The one that goes over that line does kind of throw your eye off a little bit, but I don't care. I'm glad I put it there because that line was bugging me. And there's that oval die cut that I was talking about. So basically I have all of the word love. Now you guys can use anything. Don't think you have to use the same things that any of the designers use. It can be whatever falls in the categories of L-O-V and E. Now here's what I was hoping to do, and this is what I was kind of playing around at, and why I did the snow scene is because I just wanted to add a bunch of these snowmen and trees, which I realized I used a lot of trees. So I am going to fussy cut some trees because I'd already used up a lot of the trees that were on the sticker sheet. I'm going to add a couple things like a sled here, and I'm going to add this penguin, and then there's another animal I'm going to use, which really there's none of those animals in the photo, but I used them because I really liked them, and that's all that really matters. And I love the scene by the end. And I just kind of fill it up with different stuff. And I'm also popping some of the things up on foam tape. And when you're making a scene, it's better to have smaller things be up close and popped up and larger things more in the background. But these stickers were not going to make that easy on me, so I didn't even really worry about that. But the reason for that is because it makes it look like the smaller ones are closer, or maybe it's the opposite. The bigger ones are closer, the smaller ones are in the back. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it is the bigger ones are closer, the smaller ones are in the back. Um, I'm being no help to you guys. Anyways, it doesn't matter because none of that worked on this layout as it is. I just, because I had to fussy cut some of the trees, so some of the trees are bigger. And I also am just gently now putting some of these stickers down because I know I want to go back and add foam tape, but be careful with these new Echo Park stickers because they are super sticky. And I actually had to go back and pull that snowman on the right. I wanted to pop up on some foam tape, so I had to totally rip that snowman up, but it worked out. So I do go back and add some foam tape under him. For the vellum snowflakes, I just took a little bit of my Lawn Fawn glue that just I like because the tube it can come out fast if you want it to, but it doesn't. It's all in how you kind of control it. So I just took it and just dabbed a little bit along all the little edges of the snowflake and a little bit in the middle. You can kind of see here, I won't glue them all down on screen, but I'm just adding a tiny bit around. And because this is kind of an iridescent vellum, it doesn't really show up that well. If you looked close enough, you could probably see. If you don't like that, you could always just add the glue behind whatever you can see. I tucked that behind the oval die cut there. So you could always just put the glue underneath the part that was going to be hidden by another embellishment. But like I said, because of the type of vellum that it is, you just really can't tell that well. And I use such a small amount of glue, which you don't really need a lot of glue because it's just vellum anyway. And I made all these snowflakes tuck around behind this sled and that oval and a couple of the other things. Some of them are a little bit more on top, some of them are tucked behind. Um, just to kind of give it more interest. And I am also here adding, these are the trees that I fussy cut, and I only had a small piece of that tree paper left, so I was kind of limited on what trees I was able to fussy cut, but it worked out. I'm happy with the result. Um, those tweezers, I'm going to tell you, I can't remember if I mentioned in any of my other videos, these are like my new best friends. I've had these for years, and I will leave a link below, but they are just my new best friend. I've been using those so much lately, and I don't know why. I just decided they kind of make it a little easier to place things. So I'm adding some foam tape behind different elements, and then here I'm going to play around just a little bit with clusters. I did remember to add foam tape behind this snowman here, although I'm still going to tuck him behind the snow hill just so I don't know, I didn't like him being in the front because of the brown around his legs. Um, and then I'm just adding a few. I tried playing with some more of the stickers. I kind of wanted to add something near the E of the wintertime banner, but that wasn't, I couldn't find anything that really looked good, so I did give up on that. And then there was 3 tiny snowflake circles, and I had originally put them in the middle of 3 of the snowflakes, but I went back and added some gems in those spots instead, which you will see here at the still shot photo at the end. So I hope you guys check out this challenge and enter the challenge. It's worth a try. You can have a chance to win $10 gift certificate. So go check it out, and I hope you guys like this layout. And I also added a couple enamel dots you can see there, and also the gems that are in the middle of the snowflakes. And there you can also see that there's like an iridescent look to the vellum. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.